right, folks, buckle up. We've got a bombshell leak from the world of international diplomacy. Allegedly, a scorching phone call between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu took place, and the headlines are screaming. Trump called Bibi an effing crazy, a threatening jail, basically laid down the law. Now, before we all grab our popcorn and assume this is unvarnished truth, let's dive into what this leak really tells us about the swamp, the media, and the never-ending drama of political, global, geopolitical landscape. Is it true? Is it a spin? Or is it just another day in the life of the former president who breaks all the rules? Let's get into it.
So Axios brings out the story. At this point, you've seen it. So, Rob, if you want to go down so I can read the whole thing, you're effing crazy. Trump fumes at Netanyahu in call on Lebanon. Go a little bit lower, Rob, so I can read the whole thing. So President Trump lashed out at Israel over Israel escalation in Lebanon and an expletive Latin call on Monday. Two U.S. officials and a third source briefed on the call told Axios why it matters. Early on Monday, Iran threatened to abandon negotiations with the U.S. over Israel, saying actions in Lebanon. On the call, Trump called Netanyahu crazy and accused him of ingratitude. According to two of the sources, he also put the brakes on Israel's plan to strike Beirut. Behind the scenes, one U.S. official told Bibi that following through on his threat to bomb Lebanese capital would further isolate Israel from around the world. Two of the sources said Trump claimed he'd help keep Netanyahu at a jail. He said, if it wasn't for me, you'd be in jail right there. You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates Israel because of this. Do you think this call happened?
Now, hold on a minute. Hold on. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates Israel because of this and then. Do you think this call happened? Look, if Trump did say it, which we came out to find that he did say it by his own admission, let's be honest, it does sound like something the guy would say, right? Unfiltered, undiplomatic, Donald Trump would say, then it actually makes him look pretty darn good to a lot of people. Think about it. For decades, American presidents have been walking on eggshells around so-called allies, quote unquote. They've been pushed around, taken advantage of, and generally treated like a doormat. Then this guy comes along, and suddenly he's the guy who's not afraid to tell it like it is, even to a long-standing ally like Netanyahu. Is it polite? No. Is it traditional diplomacy? Absolutely not. But is it effective at sending a clear message? You bet your ass it is. The bottom line is the bottom line. This isn't just about Israel. It's about every nation that thinks that they could pull the American strings. Trump's approach, while unconventional, signals a new era where American interests are paramount. And even friends need to understand that. He's essentially saying, hey, I'm the one who's got your back, but don't mistake my loyalty for weakness. You heard that, right? You push too far and I'll call you out. It's like you crazy Uncle Frank, at Thanksgiving, who says what everyone else is thinking, but it's too polite to say. Sometimes you need that blunt force trauma to cut through the noise. Let's continue.
The call definitely happened, but both sides are spinning it in their own ways, and they're spinning it with the classic people. So just background on this is an Axios piece. The author of this piece is Barak Ravid, who is an award-winning journalist, won a coverage, co-authored by Mark Caputo, former colleague of mine at NBC News. But Barak Ravid is famous, or should I say now infamous in media circles, for being the guy who the White House always goes to leak stuff about conversations with Israel.
Is this the guy that leaked it that Bibi got up, that Biden got upset at?
Yes, same.
This is the same
So
guy.
he did both.
Okay,
He's bipartisan.
I got
Whether
it.
you're Joe
So
Biden.
he's a fair guy.
Well, it's not about being fair. It's the point is that whoever's in the White House, they know that this is the guy who does the stories about split between Israel and America. So we've had about a dozen, 24 of these stories over the last 3 years.
Is this the guy you trust?
Unfortunately, no now. It's not that I don't trust him. I'm not saying he's making stuff up. But I am saying he's clearly become a useful vessel for information from the White House that they want to get out. They know, if you're Joe Biden or you're Donald Trump, you know that if you want to get out that you're pissed at Netanyahu, Barak Ravid's the guy you go to. Now, on the other side, you have Amit Sigal, who is one of Israel's most famous journalists, very close to Benjamin Netanyahu. Channel 12, I think, is his network. This guy is now reporting today, the day we're talking, that actually the Israeli side is saying, no, Trump never swore at Netanyahu, never mentioned jail or prison, and they disagreed about how to handle Hezbollah in Lebanon. So the question then becomes, for those of us who were not in the room, who do you believe? Serial liar Donald Trump or serial liar Benjamin Netanyahu? Journalists who act as vessels for leaders on both sides? It's very hard. This is why people have a real issue with mainstream media right now. Because what do you do in a situation like this where both sides are spinning furiously? And I can believe either version. I can believe that Trump told him you're fucking crazy. We wouldn't put that past Donald Trump. I can also believe that they lied to make Trump sound stronger than he is and that Netanyahu's telling the truth. I don't know.
Ah, yes, the classic media dodge, quote unquote. Both sides are spitting furiously, and I can believe either version, end quote. No, no, no. There is this mainstream media that tries to sound balanced while simultaneously undermining the very concept of objective truth. It's not about being able to believe either version. It's about demanding evidence and accountability from your sources, especially when they're cloaked in anonymity and pushing a clear narrative. This is why we trust in the media is at an all-time low. They've become less and less about reporting facts and more about a conduit for political operatives to leak strategically. When a journalist is known as the guy who the White House always goes to the leak stuff, well, you're not getting journalism, really. You're getting propaganda dressed up in press badge. You know what I mean? Like, you get a press badge that exactly exudes propaganda. It's like getting medical advice from a car salesperson. You know they have an agenda. Obviously, they got to close the deal. They got to make a sale. That's the bottom line. And let's be real. The idea that we wouldn't put that past Donald Trump is often used to justify spreading unverified rumors about him. It's a convenient loophole for sloppy reporting. If you can believe either version, then you're admitting you have no idea what the truth is, and perhaps as a journalist, you haven't done your job. It's not about I don't know. It's about I haven't been given verifiable information, so I shouldn't present it as fact. But that doesn't get clicks now, does it? Let's continue.
Yeah, it's a big deal too. I mean, look, all the traditional rules of political journalism went out the window when Donald Trump came along, right? So, my colleague Swin Subsang reports on the White House for Zateo. He has very good contacts. And, he tells me some of the crazy stories he gets from behind the scenes in terms of people trying to screw each other over, right? In the Trump administration, there's a very unique dynamic. And, he's referred to it as a reservoir dogs dynamic. It's been referred to where everyone's got a gun to each other's head at the same time, right? So they're all trying to screw each other over. So that's another issue is, are two of the sources people who are allied with each other? Are they from different wings of the White House? Pat, with this Iran war, there are different elements in this administration. Some people want the war done, finished. Some people want it to keep going. So there's different pressures on
This
Trump.
is not a 100%, 80% story. This is
So there's different people leaking for different agendas to try and end a war or escalate a war.
Give me how this makes Trump look good. How does it make it look bad? Who's winning with the story? Who's not?
So
optics, purely
Trump,
optics.
you know the MAGA base better than me. Many of them are your viewers. Many people in the MAGA base, not as many as people suggest. My good friend Cenk Uygur, I know you had on the show, he thinks there's a big split in MAGA. I'm less of that view. I look at the polls, 80% of MAGA still loves Trump, 70% love this war. But there is a growing minority who don't like what's going on with the foreign wars, with the betrayal of anti-war promises. And a lot of them see Donald Trump as being, I can't come up with a better phrase than Netanyahu's bitch. And this would help Donald Trump say, look, I'm telling Benjamin Netanyahu, fuck you, you're fucking crazy, I saved you from prison. I'm the dominant partner in this relationship. And by the way, this is not just a Trump issue. Every American president who's dealt with Netanyahu has come out getting screwed over. Joe Biden got completely screwed over. He gave his entire presidency to save Netanyahu. Look at him today, destroyed. Bill Clinton in the 90s came out of a conversation with Netanyahu. You know what he said to his team? He said, who's the fucking superpower here? He was so pissed that he got talked down to by Benjamin Netanyahu. So American presidents have been dealing with Bibi for many years, and they've always tried to assert their dominance, and many of them have failed to do so. So I think for Donald Trump, it's good if people believe it. The problem is, those of us who know the Axios reporting on this, we're very, very skeptical.
So let me ask you
this.
If you're Trump's advisor, which you're not, but let's just say if you were Trump's advisor, and Trump hears you, and he says, screw this guy, that call did happen, that's exactly what I told him. What does he need to do publicly for even a guy like you to say, shit, this happened?
That's a great question, because Donald Trump's word means nothing to me. I've been documenting his lies for many years. No one's told more lies than Donald Trump in the public sphere. So actions matter more than words. Same issue with Biden. His people would leak, Biden's very upset with Netanyahu. Okay, but what the fuck are you doing about it? Right? Many of us frustrated with the genocide would say. Same question now. What are you going to do about it? Donald Trump has given Netanyahu everything he wanted, right? Even if this conversation is true, he's saying, I saved you from prison, in the sense that he demanded the Israeli president.
Did he? Don't you think he did, though?
In many ways he did, because every time this war continues, Netanyahu avoids trial, right? Every time there's escalation in the war, he doesn't have to go back to court.
That's right.
And Trump has publicly called on Herzog, the president, to pardon him, which he hasn't done yet, but I'm sure he's feeling the pressure from Trump publicly calling him out. So he has helped Netanyahu. But worse than that, you look at what's happening in Gaza, he's given Netanyahu everything he wanted. And this really bothers me, because in 2024, I spend a lot of time pointing out to people on my side, leftists, Muslims, Arab Americans, people in Dearborn, Michigan, who welcomed Trump. And I said to them, you're going to get screwed over by this guy. No, 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 no. He's more anti-war than Kamala and Joe. This is what I was told by Arab Americans who voted for Trump. He will be the anti-war president. Stephen Miller said he won't send our boys to die. Trump said, remember what he said? He goes, Liz Cheney will go to war with Kamala and kill Muslims. I won't. They all believed that shit. Then he bombed, 6 countries last year, 7 countries last year. Now he's in a war with Iran. In Gaza, he had this ceasefire at the beginning that people were very happy about. But since then, he's allowed Netanyahu to do whatever he wants. And earlier this week, Netanyahu went on camera and he said, we now control 60% of Gaza and I'm going to take 70% of Gaza. Even Biden, Harris, Blinken, none of them said that would be possible. Trump has basically given Netanyahu carte blanche to do whatever he wants in the Gaza Strip. So when your answer to your question is, what does he have to do to prove he's holding?
A guy like you.
He has to hold.
It's impossible to win a guy like you.
I will give credit. I'll say it now. On
If
camera.
what?
If he manages to get Netanyahu out of Lebanon and out of Gaza, which he won't. But that's what I would want to see. Because that's what's happened on his watch. On his watch, Netanyahu's taken more territory in both those places.
Right.
Prove to me that you actually care about Middle East peace. Prove to me that you have control over Netanyahu and American weapons and get him to pull out. Because right now, Greater Israel is happening in front of our eyes. Netanyahu's doing the project that far-right Israelis have always wanted. He's taking Lebanon, southern Lebanon.
Saying Egypt,
He's taking
Turkey,
Gaza.
all this stuff.
Who knows what's coming
next?
next?
What you're thinking?
Well, if you embolden the guy, what is the lesson of the last 3 years? There's impunity. You can do whatever the F you want, and America will never stop you.
This is prime example of selective memory and political opportunism. To say that Trump has given Netanyahu everything he wanted and failed on his anti-war promises is a wildly disingenuous take. Let's not forget, under Trump, we saw the historic Abraham Accords and a monumental step forward in peace in the Middle East that no other president has even dared to attempt, okay? So he didn't just start new wars. He actively worked to bring troops home and avoid entanglements. Now, nothing's perfect. The idea that he simply gave the guy a carte blanche ignores the complex geopolitical realities and the entrenched interests that push for conflict. If Trump was truly war hawk, as this speaker implies, well, why did he face constant pushback from the establishment and the deep state and the military-industrial complex who thrive on endless wars? It's almost as if the speaker is conveniently forgetting who actually benefits from prolonged conflict. So, what's the real takeaway here, folks? Is that Trump is a loose cannon, or is it that the media and political establishment are so desperate to control the narrative that they leak anything to advance their agenda? I lean towards the latter. This whole episode just underscores that in today's political landscape, you have to be more skeptical than ever. Don't just consume the news, dissect it, question the resources, and always ask, who benefits from this story being told this way? It's always the way. It's always been like this. All you got to look at as the old saying says, consider the source. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Did Trump really say it? And if he did, obviously by now we know he did, because even by his own admission, was it a good move or a bad move? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and for more unvarnished truth, share it with anyone who's tired of political spin. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep fighting for sanity. See ya.